mate, and welcome back to another Percy Jackson series review. For this video, I will be doing the first two episodes of the season, and then because there's 8 episodes total for season 2, I will be doing 2 episodes each video, just so that way these don't get too long, and also to save my voice because I don't want to record for multiple hours. Plus, also, I don't think me having like a 3 hour long video or something discussing the whole season is going to be good. So yeah. Let's dive right in. So we of course, start off with the Grover Dream, which is very exciting. Very happy that we're sticking with that. And they're doing a great job of making this island creepy. I originally thought it was Polyphemus' Island, but apparently that's not the case. As we find out later. And yeah, we have this girl spying on Grover, and I was wondering who it is. Apparently this is just a random character they made up for the show. I'm fine with that, we gotta expand the lore, things like that. Plus, she's probably going to die eventually, so I don't really care. So, which of course, this girl and allies is really just here so that way we can be shown that Luke is starting to gathering a rebellion of demigods. Things of that nature. And of course, Grover ends up getting pulled away from them. And because a tentacle comes over and grabs him, we'll figure out what happens later in the episode. And of course, with that, we start right back off with the narration. I'm loving how this is how we start with the first episode of each season having the narration. I love the homage to the books. It's great. So, one of the things that they changed is Tyson's living with him, and that Percy already knows that he's a Cyclops, which is an interesting change. I do like that Tyson comes to live with them. Because in the books, so I was just calling my child protective services, like, hey, there's a homeless kid, come get them, and they're not able to do anything because Titan is a monster in the midst of obscuring him. But it's like, okay, if the child protective service isn't doing anything, Sally, just take the kid in. And I like this. This shows Sally's compassion. And it just fits quite well with Sally's character instead of just calling and leaving it up to authorities. And it makes sense that, it's an interesting twist to reveal that Tyson was the Cyclops. I was honestly expecting them to go at least a little bit. With Tyson having 2 eyes, just to make the CGI animation budget a little bit easier. But this one, I'm fine with Percy knowing. Makes sense that he would eventually find out that he's a Cyclops. And then there's this one, and then when Percy's telling Sally about the dream, there's this interesting situation where she's talking about how she had a vision of a coin having like this 2 drachmas thing. The one side with Poseidon, one thing Kronos, and like, did Sally always have visions, or is this a new thing that they're having to be like all mortals who can see through the mist have this ability to see into the future, or as part of the lore? Because if so, that would explain why they gave the mortals the name seers. Because when I hear the name seers, I typically think of someone who can see into the future, not someone who can see through the mist. So this will make that name be much more sense if they are going with that. Now, if anyone knows if this is like a series original or whatnot, let me know. But yeah. Apparently, we also get some more things like, oh yeah, I like. Sally also gives these two this message, which is being a real hero is standing up for others, which I love. Quote. That's such a good quote, and one that I think is definitely needs to be said this day and age. It's kind of sad. But yeah, we get to yeah. While Percy and Tyson are going to their found days, well, Annabeth arrives. So I guess we have a new dodgeball game in the school. I know weird that they named the episode that. Not gonna lie. But I do find it really adorable that Percy looks at Annabeth's picture all the time. Yes, give me that Annabeth or the Percabeth. Uh, love. I'm here for it. Give it. Wait. Yeah, as they're driving along the taxi, Tyson says, shouldn't the one driving have the eye? Which is completely reasonable tie-in. I'm so glad someone said something. Because I don't think it gets brought up in the book, or if they did, I don't think Tyson originally said it. Oh, yeah, I didn't write this in my notes, but yeah, Tyson also has this thing in the episode where he is like, oh, maybe I could go to camp. Or Tyson wants to go to Camp Half-Blood Percy because he knows about it, and Percy's like, like he's bad at telling him, like bad at like Percy so far can't um yeah but yeah Percy tries to explain to Tyson that he can't really come in. And it just goes badly and awkward. Percy tries best. I also love how in the cab ride and the Grey sisters call Percy her Annabeth's boyfriend, and she freaks out about it. I love it. Yes. And I also love how like yeah when they arrive like once they get out of the Grey sisters cab Percy wants to know how Annabeth likes school and whatnot. It's just so cute. I love it so much. And then so yeah, apparently the cannibals they show up at camp, and Percy and Tyson have to deal with them. So I guess they just didn't want to make a new school set. Which is fine, I guess. I am just really sad that we don't get to see the dodgeball game. I think it would have been really fun, but oh well. I do have another complaint about the cannibals being out of the camp, though. But we'll get to those in a bit. But, But yeah, as of course they're run to the camp, Percy's loyalty kicks in and he goes to save Titan, and as a result, Annabeth has to do the whole Annabeth chase, let Percy Jackson come into, not Percy, sorry, let Tyson come into the boundary sort of thing, which, because of this, this along with the weakness of with what Luke does, allows the cannibals to come in through the boundaries, which I like. It's like it's a fun, interesting twist. This, especially because at first, like, if you haven't read the book, at first you'll think, oh, Annabeth weakened the boundary, and that's why they could come in, when really it's Annabeth allowed Tyson to come in, but also the boundary is weakening. Like, it's two things working in tandem. Yeah, and apparently, the cannibals were a distraction, which I didn't mind that at first. But then, because the cannibals were a distraction, we don't get to see the caucus bulls at all in this episode. Maybe they'll throw them maybe they'll throw them in another episode, and we'll see Percy and Annabeth fight them later. I don't know, but yeah, no, I was expecting to, like, see some Percy Jackson action, and I was really looking forward to it. Percy Jackson and Tyson fight some caucus bulls. Same with Clarice, because then we could have seen the "You Moo Girl" paper take to her back, but it's fine. I just hope I just hope we get to see the caucus bulls sometime in the series. I think it wasn't great. We also get to see Blackjack. I was not expecting to see that character this early in the season. And we see this because we actually see Luke poisoning the tree in this too, which is something the movie said as well. I'm fine. I have mixed feelings on this. Because here, and I didn't at first. It wasn't until later in the episode where we find out that, oh, Tantalus is already here. Which means they already kicked Chiron out, which just Chiron out, which just doesn't make sense. Like the reason why they kick, I thought Thalia's tree getting poisoned, I thought that was the final straw, so to speak, of why Chiron leaves. But I guess no, it's fine. I guess. I mean, I'm annoyed, but whatever. I mean, this is still better start than what they did for the first season, so. Alright. But yeah, we're also already getting that Percy and Annabeth divide on Luke as well. And yeah, they're also getting rid of the whole, I don't know if I mentioned this last season, no, but they do seem to be getting rid of the whole Annabeth left Luke sort of thing, which is cool. To be fair, especially the Luke liking it, I can understand, I feel like it's not unusual for girls to have crushes on older boys because, and not a real crush, but it's just they're crushing because these guys are tall and have hit puberty already, while people their age, well, men of their age, like really scrawny, so whatnot. But it's like not a real crush, a sort of thing. Like so, but no, Luke having a crush on Abbott, I always had a problem with. And I'm totally fine with that just being erased. They like I said, they bring Tantalus in after Luke poisons the tree and whatnot. And of course, this is where we get introduced to Tantalus. Which, yeah, they've already done such a great job in that one scene of making me hate Tantalus. It's, yeah, well done. And of course, Titan's claims, though, for some reason, Annabeth is shocked, which is weird, because in the book, she's like, yeah, she was like, well, yeah, no, Cyclops are the result of gods and an nymph. Well, one god in particular, and she, like, knows that, and yeah, she's shocked by it for some reason. Like, girl, you should know that Cyclopes are more often than not children of Poseidon. Like, why is this a shock to you? But yeah, Mr. D is the same, just as it was last season. Yeah, which I had originally assumed. Oh, we're not gonna see Chiron until the end of the season. They will prove me wrong in episode 2, but yeah. Yeah, and then yeah, that's the end of episode 1. So season 2, Percy's confined to his cabin, but as he's going there, it's really just like a dour mood. Like we're really setting the tone. And I will say, we are starting to see like this divide or like drama of conflict between Percy and Annabeth, and it is so much better than what they tried to do with Grover and Percy last season. And because that felt so forced, and even the little bit of conflict in episode 3 of season 1. Well, like the whole, oh, the Oracle said someone's gonna betray me. Like, it just felt so forced, and that they were beating you over the head that, hey, Percy's gonna get betrayed. Like, I was so sick of that. So this is already much better done. And feels so much more natural. Oh, but yeah, so Percy. Oh wait, no, sorry. This is not the end of episode. Sorry, we're still. This is what happens when I put the same episode notes all on one page and don't make a separation. Well, actually, it's multiple pages. I'm already on page 3 of my notes, so yeah. But yeah, so we're still on episode 1, but yeah, it's so much more natural. And then of course Percy goes to sleep. He dreams of Grover again. Again, I realize, oh hey, we've got an empathy link, but apparent, which brings into my next problem. I don't like how Grover accidentally created the empathy link. Like I wish it was more intentional to me. Like Grover intentionally did it, like it was in the books. Like empathy link doesn't feel like something you should accidentally create. You know. I do love how they both like geek out about this, but yeah, the episode 1 we're already starting off on a strong note for season 2. Yeah, so episode 2, Annabeth and Percy want to talk to Chiron, but they can't do that because Chiron's been forbidden from seeking out campers. So Annabeth is going to use a loophole to go and talk to Chiron. As a result, they use Percy being out of his cabin as a distraction, and a satyr goes to report to Tantalus. And I'm wondering if this satyr is supposed to be Clovis? Just because, I mean, it would fit with the character, plus we need to introduce him at some point, so introducing him in season 2 would be fine. For those who and I'm assuming if you're watching this, you've read at least the first series. If not, spoilers, what are you doing here? Well, I shouldn't say what are you doing here. I appreciate you coming. But, yes, spoilers, I forgot to say that at the end of the episode. With the video. But, yeah, Clovis is a member of the Satyr, Council of Elders of, the Satyr Council, and, has a lot of problems with Grover in books 4 and 5. So introducing Clovis earlier, I think, is in season 2 was stuck up to Tantalus is not a bad idea, honestly, because we already get introduced him before he causes a conflict for one of the main characters. And we already know, and we're already getting an idea of what his character is if he's sucking up to someone like Tantalus. But yeah, of course they decide to. So yeah, one of the things I was wondering, they decide to talk to Chiron and then look for the fleece sort of thing. Instead of Grover finding out about it, I guess. But that's not end up what they're going. I mean, they kind of end up going that way, but they kind of don't. It's kind of like a combination of Annabeth talking to Chiron that they also and Percy's dream of Grover that they also that the two of them kind of figure out. Or that Annabeth kind of figure out, Golden Fleece, that sort of thing. And of course we see the Iris method effects really cool. Also, I love how they're teasing the Chris Rodriguez and Clarice relationship, although I ain't surprised by this because I assumed that Chris Rodriguez would have already joined Luke at this point. He hasn't yet. Which, are they going with hey, both Chris and Selena were spies? Sort of things? I'm not I mean, I love that you're teasing up this relationship. I really do. But, what's the point of Chris being here? Because that's what I want to know. But yeah, this is also where Annabeth learns about the prophecy, and honestly, this makes more sense that way. It feels like her learning about the prophecy regarding Percy at this point makes a lot more sense than her learning it when she's 7 or 8 years old or something like that. Why does this 8-year-old me to know about the great prophecy. You know? But yes, they also make it clear that the chariot races are happening, and I was worried because they cut out the dodgeball game and the caucus bowls that they weren't gonna make that happen, but they do. I'm glad about that. But yeah, this of course is also where Annabeth suggests, hey, let's split up, increase our odds to win the quest, um, because because she's following Chiron's orders of, hey, don't take Percy with you, which like I said, this divide that they're doing between Annabeth and Percy just feels more natural than again. It feels so much more natural conflict than the whole Grover and like Percy beef that they have for like 2 episodes. But yeah, Percy goes and has another dream, and based on that dream, kind of worried. Not gonna lie, I'm kind of worried that they're gonna go with the empathy link was created by Kronos, and I really hope they don't go with that because I empathy link should be sacred between satyrs and like demigods or whatever. I don't want it to be that like Kronos tampered with this and made the empathy link happen. No, I don't want it. It's sacred. Leave me, please. But yeah, then of course, the person who Annabeth gets paired up with for the chariot race, it's some random person. I know they give her a name, I just don't remember it. But I was really hoping it was gonna be her brother who we meet in the later books. Um, Malcolm Pace. That's who I was hoping it would be, because again, it was one of those things like, oh, if we introduce Clovis this early, it would probably be good to, introduce someone like Malcolm, who he gets introduced in book 4, or might as well introduce him, but no, random girl, which is fine, whatever, I don't care. I was just like, I mean, I suppose it's possible this girl did show up in book 2. It's just been a while since I read who her partner was, so there's that. And of course, the race continues. What Annabeth tells her half sister, hey, make sure Percy doesn't win the race, okay? And I don't want to lose his friendship with him, so that's why my friendship with him, so that's why you're gonna do it. But then of course the demon pigeons attack, like, and Mr. D swats at them. Like, I can't. Oh, it's just funny that like he's the Autobot and he's just gonna swat at them like they're a fly or something. Like, these are birds with razor sharp things. I can't. And then of course, Tantalus, once the birds are away, says, well done, we saved the camp. Like, we, Tantalus, buddy, you did nothing. also, and then they have Tantalus like taking Percy Dream as his own. They have made him worse. I don't know how, but they have. And then we also get the heartbreak of Percy not going, not being chosen, and that scene is just so sad because they went and had Clarice choose Annabeth and Chris Rodriguez. So, which I'm wondering if Chris is gonna betray them on the quest, and then I was also wondering like, how is Annabeth gonna end up with Tyson and Percy on this quest? And then of course, as you know, Percy's headed back to this camp, angry and upset with Annabeth. Tyson explains what he heard on the chariot, and I love how like Percy just doesn't freak out that Tyson mimics people, which makes me wonder if like he's done that before in Percy's presence. But yeah, it also seems like we're getting a Grover dream every episode, which I will take. But yeah, I also find it super interesting that Percy wants Poseidon's blessing. And of course, Hermes shows up, and they do address the problems that Percy and Hermes has from last season. So that seems to be kind of resolved by now. Sort of. Like Percy is still a little bit angry. When he realizes that Hermes still wants to save Luke after everything he's done. But yeah, Tyson seems to be the new Hagrid, because not only, because he just can't keep a lie or a secret to save his life. Like, because he just goes and tells Annabeth what Percy is doing. That Percy plans on sneaking away to go see Grover, which is how she gets involved, and they even keep the whole family line about that too. Which also they have made two insuetos with Poseidon couldn't keep his stride to himself, and what happens in Vegas is the reason for the two Harry's children. Like, wow, okay. Was not expecting that at all. But yeah, so of course, instead of the cleaning harpies coming to eat and deal with them, Tantalus shows up and of course tries to shoot them with a crossbow from celestial bronze. He also makes this whole speech of like, yeah, it's like, hey, look, if the gods are angry with me for killing their kids, I'm just upholding their laws, so no, look, which is something they absolutely cared about, So yeah, of course, Percy, Tyson, and Annabeth all escape, and Phyllis has this huge tantrum, which, yes, throw that tantrum, boy. But yeah, that is my review of the first two episodes of Percy Jackson Season 2. Next time I'm reviewing the season, it'll be episodes 3 and 4, so keep an eye out for that. And until next time, bye!